So I've got a story time today back from when I used to work in door-to-door sales. If you're new to my channel, my name is Temi Lowry. I've generated millions of pounds worth of sales, and right now, for the last 3 years, everything I do is on that in the online high-ticket sales space. I work completely online, but even I work online. I'm in online sales at the moment. The start of my journey was very much in direct sales, going door to door, selling windows and doors. So when I was in door to door sales, we had a very weird environment that we were selling in. I mean, I say it was weird, but I think a lot of door to door sales offices are weird because I think you've got to be weird to be doing door to door sales. And genuinely, I don't think I would be in the position that I'm in today, where I've generated millions and millions and millions of pounds worth of sales, and I'm managing over 150 guys, and I've got this business, blah blah blah. I don't think I'd be able to do so well in sales if it wasn't for my door to door sales experience. Genuinely, that was the best experience that I could have ever asked for. Like, what a blessing that was to get into door to door sales. Honestly, so if you're in door to door sales watching this and you kind of hate your life a little bit, I promise you, it is some of the most valuable stuff that you can do. I think anyone that wants to be an entrepreneur should start in door to door sales because of these skills that you develop. But my door to door sales office, it was really weird because my boss was some guy that had got out of jail maybe 2 years ago or so. He had platinum teeth, he had slits in his eyebrows, and he'd come to work every day in his suit, in his snapback cap. He was a bit of a strange guy, extremely bipolar, extremely. I've never met anyone that was so bipolar in my life. And he was just a very interesting character, right? And he taught us this way of sales where it was very aggressive. It was very aggressive sales. Now in sales, you definitely need to learn how to sell accordingly to your personality, and you also need to learn how to sell with human psychology, not against human psychology. I don't think I was taught to sell with human psychology, but it was still a great learning experience for me. So, in the door-to-door sales office, it was weird. We'd be drifting roundabouts, we'd be punching each other up in the office, we'd be playing pranks on each other. It was just a very boisterous environment. And my boss, who was this big Irish gypsy background, big 6'1", recently out of jail, just interesting guy, bipolar, angry man. He taught us to just be very aggressive and forceful. He taught us to really fight for every single close on the door. He taught us this method of selling where it was like, unless they literally slam the door in your face, you're still there, you're still talking to them, you're still handling objections. You're just fighting for the sales. And as a result of that, as you can imagine, a lot of people got quite pissed off when there's some black kid on your front door on a Saturday morning and he won't go away. Like, I would not leave your doorstep until it's closed. There's some people that would obviously, as they should, feel disrespected by that because I wouldn't leave them alone. But that's what I was taught to do. I was taught to fight for them, fight for them, fight for them. Because I had the mindset coming into door-to-door sales that, look, what do I know? I'm just going to do everything big man tells me to do. And I'm just going to be the hungriest, be the biggest savage. I will go, but I'll just push for these sales by any means so that I can impress my boss and I can do a good job. Because that's what I was taught to do. Going back, is that the best way to sell door-to-door? No. You can't just, fight your way to the sale because even if you do manage to get the appointment booked or whatever, they're probably just going to churn. They're probably not going to go ahead with the appointment. They probably just want to get rid of you. If the only way to get rid of someone is slam the door in their face or just go along with whatever it is that they're selling and then just disregard it, then they're probably, some people will obviously slam the door, but some people aren't comfortable doing that and they'll just go along with it and then they'll just cancel. So I wasn't trained to sell in an effective way. I was taught to argue with them. I was taught to embrace confrontation and conflict in a way. There'd be many times so when I was a team leader, there'd be many times where someone on my team is getting really struggling with, and they're on the back foot. The guy's arguing, then I would come in, and then I'd start arguing with the guy as well, just handling the objections, bang, 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 bang. And it's really funny. It's genuinely such a funny memory for me to look back on. And yeah, like I said, as a result of my interest in methods of sales, I was in a lot of conflicts. Within a 3-month period, I think it was, I get this wrong all the time, maybe 3 months, maybe 5 months, but in a very short period of time, I had the police called on me 9 times or something ridiculous. Like, I literally had the police called on me, and what I'd have to do whenever the police got called on me, I'd have to get my phone, and I'd to be like, "Yo, boss, I need to come pick me up." And like, "Why? What's up?" I was like, "Someone's just called the police on me," and he's like, "Oh, all right. Like, where are you? Like, send me your location on WhatsApp. I'll come and grab you." And then we just had to go. I just had to be removed from the field. We'd either had to go hide back at the office for a little bit until our heat dropped down, or I'd have to or we'd just have to go to a different area and start knocking doors. 'Cause sometimes we'd be in the car, like driving back to the office or something, and a police car would literally drive past us, because people would genuinely call the police on me for just like arguing with them on the door. If they asked my name and stuff, I wouldn't even give them my name. I'd give them a made up name. If they asked me what company I was with, I didn't wear my name badge on me. I had it in my pocket. If they asked me what company I was with, I'd literally lie to their face and say like a different company. I'm not gonna say which company I'd say I was from because I'd get sued right here, right now. But I literally just lied to their face because that's what my boss told me to do. I was just operating on whatever he told me to do. I was just listening. Because when you've got a mentor or someone further above, then I mean, it's pretty foolish to think that you know best. You just listen to the guy that's ahead of you. Should I have listened to this guy? No, but I thought he knew better than I did. I thought he was the man, so I listened to what he told me to do. So yeah, I literally had the police called on me like 9 times in the space of like 3 or 5 months. So I literally almost got arrested in door-to-door sales, which is the maddest thing. I never did get arrested. I never did actually get caught by the police because as soon as they said, "I'm calling the police," I'd just ring my boss and I'd dip. But there was definitely times. I remember the first time it happened. It was literally on like my first week, and it wasn't even my fault this time. It was my team leader. On like my first week in door-to-door sales, I was shadowing a guy called Cameron. Now, for the guys that have been watching my YouTube channel for a while, you probably know Cameron as the guy that I choked out in 6 seconds after I beefed him on the field. But Cameron was my team leader, and Cameron was training me in my first week, and I was shadowing Cameron. And Cameron, like the main thing that we need to qualify, like we don't sell to like elderly people, and we don't sell to people like we can only sell to the homeowner because we're selling windows and doors. If they don't own the home, then we can't sell to them. We can't speak to some like rented property and sell them windows and doors. We can't speak to like let's say I open the door here. I don't own this property. I can't buy windows and doors for it. So we had to speak to the homeowner. And then there was this one time where my team leader, he knocked on a house. And some kid opened the door. He was maybe like 17, 16, 17, something like that. And he was disabled. He was not extremely disabled, but like he was pretty autistic. And his parents weren't home and he wasn't the homeowner. So he was like, "Oh yeah, no worries, mate. Like when do you think they'll be home?" And he said like 5 p.m. or something like that, something standard. So then 5 p.m. came and we went to knock back on the house again and it was still that guy. So then what Cameron decided to do was like, "Oh, is it okay if I just give you the information so that you can tell your mom or dad whenever they get home?" And then as Cameron is like telling the information to the homeowner, like, "Oh yeah, so like windows and doors, like look, I can only see you've got 1 point locking system. With the crime rate in the area, the government recommends 3 point locking systems," or just whatever the pitch was. We're talking to this kid about the stuff that ready so that he can go and tell his parents or whatever. And I'm just at the side watching, like on the side of the door to the point where the kid can't even see me there. And then as Cameron's pitching this guy, the mum pulls up in the drive. She gets home. And then she gets out of the car just kicking off. Why are you talking to my son? Like, what are you trying to sell him? He's autistic. Like, why are you trying to sell my autistic son? Cameron's like, "Oh, look, I was waiting for you to come home, actually. I was trying to give him the information." And she was like, "No, like, this is wrong. This is out of order. I'm calling the police." And I remember after hearing that, I was like, kind of like shitting myself a little bit. I was like, "Oh, God, like, it's like my third day in door-to-door sales. And like the police are coming, like, what? No, we're going to get arrested." I was kind of like, pooing myself a little bit inside. Little 17-year-old Temmie, because yeah, she was calling the police because Cameron was trying to sell to her 17-year-old autistic son. So again, I've just got so many weird random stories from door-to-door sales, but that's the time where I almost got arrested in door-to-door sales. But one thing that I will take away from this experience, which I do think helped me, I was taught to just be aggressive on these doors, aggressively handle objections and just push to advance the sale, no matter what. Just keep pushing. I think that has helped me. because I think I was quite an effeminate guy because I was raised in a single parent household with no father figure. I was very much a nice man, not a good man. I was a very agreeable and nice person. The thought of pushing for clothes and confrontation and conflict, that probably made me very uncomfortable, 7 years ago. But thanks to that door to door sales experience and going from one extreme to the absolute other extreme where I'm getting the police called on me, that helped me develop my testicles as a man in a way to the point where I feel comfortable pushing for the clothes. I feel comfortable handling objections rather than just being agreeable all the time. I mean, obviously, I had to find some sort of middle ground in there. I don't want to get the police called on me. That especially doesn't work in the high ticket sales space that I'm in now. Because if I'm trying to do that, someone would just leave the Zoom call and block me. But it definitely was a good experience for me to learn it. It definitely helped me develop my skill set. One thing that is very, very, very common in the high ticket sales space right now is people don't know how to close. These silly like fitness coaches and stuff or whatever. There's a lot of people that think they can close, but they don't know how to handle objections. One thing that really like stresses me out, like let's say if I'm like an agency client or something, and I'm like, how did the sales call go? And they're like, oh yeah, it went really, really well. We've got another call booked in for next week. I'm like, why? And they'll be like, oh, well, the first call was just kind of like discovery. I'm like, bro, you're selling a 2K offer for a fitness program. Why do you need two calls to close? But what it is that they don't feel comfortable pushing the pitch. They don't feel comfortable handling the objection. I need to think about it. They don't feel comfortable doing that. So they're like, oh yeah, I'll just send them an email. I'll just send them a proposal. Oh yeah, I'll just get on the second follow-up call. I'm like, no, bro. You didn't need a follow-up call. You don't need to send them an email. You just need to talk with your chest and handle the objection. Push for the close. So just that ability, that's something that I learned from door-to-door sales. It's something I took away from that. That experience is funny to look back at. It's funny to have a laugh. Ha ha ha, I almost got arrested. Got the police called on me. Definitely wouldn't recommend. I mean, I think it's a bit of a dick move, to be honest, knocking on someone's door and not leaving them alone. That's what I was taught to do. I didn't know any better. It was a good experience, and it's just a funny story for me to look back at. So, yeah. Hope you like the video, boys. Just a little story time. Make sure to subscribe for more content like this. I've also got a free school community down below as well. If you are interested in getting into online sales and you want to start making money online rather than going into the office every day, comment below. What videos do you want to see from me in the future? Do you want to see more videos about door-to-door? Do you want to see videos about online sales? Like, what do you want to see? Let me know. As always, boys, keep grinding.